morning, guys. I am hiding out in my bedroom right now because Rook is napping, and I know that if I go and hang out outside for a while and come back in and make noise, he'll wake up because he basically naps to whatever noise he's put down to, if that makes sense. So if I'm like busy around the house making noise, he'll nap through that. But if I leave the house quiet for a while and then make noise, he'll wake up. You know how it is. Yeah, it's already pretty late in the day and I'm just starting to vlog because I've had just the most amazing morning. Spring has sprung and it is giving me life. My heart is so happy. Like sitting outside, looking at all the flowers, listening to the birds chirp just gives me so much life. You guys got to see all of my tulips that are starting to bloom. A lot of them have. There's still a lot to come. And tulips just, or like any bulbs, are so, you get just so much satisfaction from them that you don't get out of other plants, in the sense that you put them in the ground in the fall and when you plant them you see nothing, as if you did all that work for nothing. And there's something to be said for having to wait for the results of your labor. I don't know if this is getting too meta, but it's just so satisfying in the spring when you see all those bulbs come up out of the ground and get to enjoy all that work you did. Yeah, I'll link the vlog from the fall where I planted all my bulbs if you're curious about what I put in the ground. I tried this one out that is in our little hanging basket that has frilly edges to the petals, which is so cool. So yeah, I went outside to just relax and read my book. I only read like a page or two and then put the book down and just laid there, looked at the trees, listened to the birds, watched the birds fly by. Like, just so peaceful, and it's so rare in life that you get to just stop and enjoy your surroundings like that. And yeah, and also to just like focus on yourself and your own thoughts and not be busy with things. I was just thinking a lot about how grateful I am for this house that has served us for 3 years and how lucky we are to live here. I knew I would be giving things up leaving this house, but it's also like we're living a life we can't afford, you know, like this house, this property is not something we could ever purchase on our own. So we've just felt very lucky that we've gotten to borrow it for a couple of years. Yeah, we still have a backyard and everything in the new house, but it's not going to be the same as living on 2 acres with like neighbors that are chill and quiet, you know? Yeah, it's really nice that I'm getting the time to get closure with this house, because, you know, Josh and I got married and this was our first house we lived in. We brought Rook home from the hospital in this house, and I know I'm gonna be very sentimental when we leave. So yeah, that's been my morning. Just a lot of self-reflection. Yeah, and then whenever Rook wakes up from his nap, I will leave the bedroom, but I want him to get a good nap, of course. Oh, also, there were new planter boxes you hadn't seen before. I didn't expect I was gonna plant those baskets this week, but the weather turned and the nurseries just got more flowers. So I ended up doing it the other day and I filmed it because I knew I wanted to show you guys what flowers I got and my process of things. So I'll put that clip in now in case you're interested in what I did. Okay, so today is not vlog day, but I had to go to the garden center to get my annuals because it's like 23 degrees out today, so warm, and it's supposed to be 25 by Saturday. Anyways, I wanted to get my annuals before they all sold out. They were a little limited, like they don't have everything out yet, but I knew some of them were selling out. So anyways, that's a lot of explanation. That's why I'm throwing this clip in. And I know some of you at least are interested in my garden, so if you don't care, skip ahead. I currently have some tulips in my planter boxes, so I'm gonna kind of fit these plants in between. And also my tulips, you'll see, are very short. They didn't grow to their proper height, and I think that's from frost damage over the winter because they're just in like a little husk, like they're a coconut husk planter, so there's not a lot of protection. I kind of expected some damage, so it's fine. Anyways, this is what we're gonna do. So I planted these guys in my planter boxes last year, and I don't know what they're called. If you know what these are, please tell me. They never label them at the nursery I go to. They just call them annual color. Like, that's the least helpful thing they could have said. So it's a white one or a creamy one and a pink one. I'll show you a close up. That's what they look like. Super pretty when they're in bloom, and they bloomed, I think, all summer except near the end when they died because there was not enough moisture in the planter box. And then I got just some white petunias. They're a little boring in my opinion just because they're so used, but they're used for a reason. They grow big and they're very colorful. This one's white, but they can be very colorful and they're really easy. And then I got these grape shake bacopa, I think I had these in my planter box last year, and again, there wasn't enough moisture, so they died off early. This is what they look like. If you couldn't tell, my color scheme is like pink and white. I'm very much not a pink person, but when it comes to gardens, I find that pink and purples are the most vibrant and eye-catching, so I prefer that. And then I got this guy, which is a ground cover. Sorry to not be helpful, but I also don't know the name of this one. It's labeled as ground cover. Thanks a lot, not very helpful. If you guys know what this plant is, please let me know. And then finally, I got some silver falls, very common plant for hanging baskets, etc., because it like drapes over the edge. Last year I put creeping Jenny in my boxes, but I knew I was taking a risk because creeping Jenny likes shade to partial sun, and this is a full sun location, so they didn't do great. This guy can handle full sun, so it should do a lot better. Yeah, so I think, oh, the other thing. So the reason why my planters were so dry last year is because they get full sun and that husky material does not retain water. Or I shouldn't say that. I should say it's a lot easier for the sun to evaporate out that water because it can evaporate out of every side of the container versus plastic ones where it can only evaporate out of the top, right? So my plan is I need to keep them intact because there's tulips in them, but I'm hoping to create a barrier around the edge to prevent that evaporation out of the sides. And I was humming and hawing over what I wanted to use. I thought like plastic wrap is an obvious choice, but I don't own plastic wrap and I don't want to buy plastic wrap for it. And then I realized I have these beeswax wraps that I was actually going to get rid of because they don't work great. I made them myself and I didn't put enough wax on certain sections. So I thought I would cut these up and kind of line the inner wall with it, and they're totally biodegradable, so it should be like perfect for the soil. And because it has beeswax, it'll prevent water from evaporating out. I feel like this is gonna work. So that's the plan. I'm also gonna take out some soil and add some fresh soil, also a little bit of fertilizer, just kind of see what I can do. It's a little tricky when you already have plants in, you know? So let's get to it. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. I really like the like whimsical fairy type theme for my garden. So I always am going for like lighter colors, like pastels, specifically like pastel pinks and purples and whites. And I'm really excited for some of those plants to grow in because only a few of them are flowering right now and it'll only get better. And also I can bring all this with me to the new house. I'm thinking ahead, don't worry. But yeah, I'm having a good day so far. Hello, mister. Did you have a good nap? Hey. Hi. You want some cuddles? Hey. Yeah. Good morning. You want to help me clean the kitchen? Yeah? You're so sweet. You look like such an adult. Look like such an adult. Yeah, okay. Let's clean the kitchen. I almost forgot to show you my tomato plants, which I need to put out in the sun. It's still too cold at night to leave them outside. That's why they're inside. Also, these are not the tomato plants I planted. These are the tomato plants I planted. They are very much dead. I don't know what it is. I struggle so much with planting things from seed. They'll sprout and then they won't grow. And they had plenty of light, proper watering. Now they've completely dried out because I gave up on them. So I went ahead and did what I did last year and bought some tomato plants that were already mature, I guess. So yeah, maybe next year I can start them from seed. Okay, I'm gonna tidy the kitchen because it'll make me feel good. Okay, so it is 12 o'clock right now, so it's lunchtime, and I'm actually going to be giving Rook lunch for the second day in a row. He was only doing breakfast and dinner from 6 months until now, and now he's older. We're going to start integrating lunches, which is like fine, but just, you know, a little annoying that there's another task for me to do and another cleanup I need to do with him every day, but that's life. I'm gonna try and give him like cleaner foods to eat for lunch because I don't want to have to give him a bath. So he's gonna get some banana for lunch. Maybe something else. For sure banana though. And then I have no idea what I'm gonna have. Tell that he's not as interested in lunch. Like he got bored pretty quick and I ended up giving him a cracker to keep him interested in eating. And I think that's just because he's still adjusting to getting a third meal a day. I don't know. Like I said, it's only the second day of this. Let's wipe down your face. Let's wipe down your face. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Okay, we're gonna go outside and spend some time in the grass. I like to get him outside as much as possible to just get used to the sensations of being outside, like grass on his feet, that kind of thing. Anyways, we're gonna put some sunscreen on. Obviously Rook needs it, but also I have been neglecting putting it on myself, so trying to be responsible. And while we're here doing this, I want to talk to you guys about my fertility. So you guys know that last month I got my period back, which was great, and I've been tracking my basal body temperature since, as I always do when I have a cycle, and I was kind of hoping for the best, but my numbers were kind of doing what they were doing when I was struggling to conceive, which is, sorry, hands full of sunscreen. If you don't know, your basal body temperature is supposed to spike at ovulation and then drop at menstruation, and mine just kind of flatlines. So a little disappointing because like I don't want to have a baby right now. I don't want another baby, but I want to know that my body is ready for pregnancy when I'm mentally ready for pregnancy. So it was not nice seeing those numbers. Also, if you didn't follow my journey, it only took us 6 months to get pregnant. I know it's not that long, but because I was aware of my body and I was charting, I knew something was wrong, and that's why we intervened earlier than most. In Canada, the healthcare system says to not do anything until you've been trying for at least a year. And by that, they mean you literally can't do anything. Like your general practitioner won't treat you, test you, nothing until you've been trying for a year. Which I get it, because for a normal person with no issues, it can take you a year to get pregnant, and so you shouldn't worry. But like I said, I knew something was wrong, so I intervened with a naturopath who was wonderful and helped me get pregnant. Disappointing news about my numbers, but it should have been expected. So Rook just had his 9-month checkup the other day, and I thought, oh, why not talk to her about my fertility, get her opinion on it. Maybe I can get some blood work done through her, because if I do it through the healthcare system, it's free. If I do it through a naturopath, it's not free. So I want to do as much as possible through the system, of course. And again, I shouldn't have been surprised that I didn't get the answers I wanted. She basically just gave me the script that she's supposed to give, or anyone in traditional medicine is supposed to give, that your charting doesn't prove anything, no intervention until after a year of trying, and she said that I shouldn't bring anything up until I've missed a couple periods. And the kicker is, I never missed a period. I just had hormonal issues that prevented me from ovulating correctly. So a little disappointing, but again, I can't blame her. That's what she's told to say. What else? I am getting my iron checked because I do have thalassemia. I think I've mentioned that before. It's like a blood disorder where your red blood cells are the wrong shape, and so they don't carry oxygen as well, and also they don't, it's something like they don't use iron as well. Like, I can take a lot of iron supplements, but my body won't use it even though it's there. So I've always had iron issues because of that. But because of that, she said I can get my iron tested, so I'm excited about that. Last time I got my iron checked, I was very low, and I got iron infusions, which were wonderful but expensive. So again, if I do it through my family doctor, it'll be free. Very exciting. So yeah, that's the update. I'm not planning on getting pregnant anytime soon. But on that note, that brings up some emotional turmoil I've been going through. Rook is approaching 12 months. He's 9 months now. And I've always wanted kids close together. And I just feel like I should be getting to the point where I want to be trying for another kid. And I'm just not there at all. Like, I want myself to want to get pregnant and I don't, which is fine, but I don't know. I'm feeling the conflict of I want to have kids that are close together, but also I'm scared to have 2 children because I know that's a lot of work, a lot more work than one. So that's just kind of what I'm going through. It's like trying to figure out when I want to have another kid, and then also hoping that my body will be ready when I'm ready. I definitely will end up going to see my naturopath again because obviously she got me pregnant. That came out weird. She helped me fix my body so that I could get pregnant, but I'm gonna hold off until I have some more months of data with my numbers and until I get my results with my iron so that I just have more information to give her. Again, no rush. I'm not wanting baby number 2 yet. It's just hard, and again, I know I didn't try that long, but my heart feels for anyone who has been trying. Ooh, you're not allowed to get that. But my heart goes out to anyone who's been trying for a month and didn't get pregnant that first month, because you're always told in high school, watch out, you're gonna get pregnant when you start having sex. And then when you actually are trying and it doesn't happen, it's very confusing. And a lot of thoughts start going into your head of why isn't my body working? Fertility is such a basis of being a woman, I think a lot of people or a lot of women feel. And so when your fertility isn't working, you don't feel like your body's doing its basic job of being a woman. Just frustrating. Yeah, anyways, we are all lathered up with sunscreen and we're gonna go spend some time outside. Okay, we are inside now. Rook is down taking a nap. I just showered all the sunscreen off of me and now I'm gonna take a nap. This is only something that happens on sunny days when I spend time outside because my body's just not acclimatized to the sun and it just wears me out. So I'm going to take a snooze. I just woke up from my nap and do I ever feel amazing? I feel like a whole new person. So glad that Rook slept so that I could get some sleep because I was really faded. He slept for a whole hour and a half, which is perfect. I probably got a half hour. It took me a while to fall asleep, but that's fine. I just needed any sleep at all. Like 10 minutes would have been fine. I might have to... Oh, what do I want to do? I want a snack, but I probably should just make dinner and eat dinner. What do I want to eat though? Okay, we're resorting to the recipe book for some inspiration. We could make asparagus pesto Alfredo. I have all the ingredients for that. And we even have shrimp. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna do asparagus pesto Alfredo. Now I'm just waiting for Josh to come home so we can serve up. If you're wondering how I'm serving it to Rook, I took the veggie shrimp mix out before I added the sauce, chopped it up, and added some ricotta cheese as like a binding to hold it all together, and then added it to some pasta, and that's Rook's dish. I just didn't want to give him the like store-bought Alfredo sauce because I know it's loaded with salt, so yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching another day in my life. And I also hope that you're getting really nice spring weather wherever you're at. Thanks again so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.